Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to share my journey with The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, a book that's become really popular with creatives who feel stuck or blocked. What drew me in was not just the creativity, but also the spiritual undertone running through the whole thing. In the introduction, Julia talks about how she refers to God throughout the book. She knows this might feel uncomfortable for some, but the book isn't about defining or debating what God is. Instead, it's about recognizing creativity as part of our spiritual body, just like bod is a part of our physical body. The book helps you dig into your past to uncover pain and use writing, play, and reflection to break free from negative beliefs we carry about ourselves and the world. One line that really sparked something in me was, "If you think of the universe as a vast chemical sea in which you are immersed and from which you are formed, opening your creativity changes you from something bobbing in that sea to a more fully functioning, more conscious, more cooperative part of that ecosystem." That idea gave me hope that creativity is a way to truly connect and belong. She offers some basic principles and affirmations at the start, which I wrote out and stuck on my wall. I want to remind myself to create even when I'm not in the mood, not just when inspiration hits. Many of us have creative dreams sidelined by busy lives and what society expects of us, stuck in jobs that don't fulfill us, leaving us feeling empty and longing for more. Julia says throughout the book, emotions might swing wildly from giddiness, anger, shame, grief, resistance, and hope. We might want to quit, feeling like we're doing it wrong or not good enough. But if we persevere, this book can unblock not just creativity, but open us to a spiritual healing. There's a sense of safety I'm beginning to create within myself, something this first week focuses on. It's not always been easy. I haven't had much external feedback, good or bad, because I haven't shared my art widely. That's both a gift and a challenge, because I create mostly alone in a bubble, and in a way that's been very healing for me. But what truly shaped my path into art was grief. In 2018, I lost someone who was my best friend, my lover, and who I considered to be my soulmate. He was the artist. He dreamed of being famous, and once joked that if he didn't make it, he'd hope he'd die in a tragic accident, so people would remember him that way. In a cruel twist of fate, he actually did die. He was hit by a car on his way to meet me. I carried guilt for years about this, and I didn't start painting until after he died. It wasn't my dream to be an artist, it was his. But through loss, something inside me began to bloom. My art became a way to process grief, a way to speak to him, and a way to survive. But for 6 years, I worked as a chef, aimlessly. I hated it. The long hours, the egos, the disconnect from my own soul. But a month ago, I hit a wall, and I decided no more. This life doesn't align with me, so I left. And soon after, I found this book. I started a TikTok, and I've started this YouTube. I chose to try something new. The first time I started The Artist's Way, I got to about week 4, but I rushed. I wasn't consistent, so I'm starting again. Slow, steady, present, no judgment. Julia says that this is a recovery book, and recovery isn't fast. You don't start a marathon at a sprint. We want to be at the finish line already, with followers, success, healing, a full website. But before all that, we have to allow ourselves to make bad art, to be raw, to be new. And I think that's what is scary about it, is the unknown. Many of us stay stuck because the familiar feels safe, even if it makes us unhappy. This book is supposed to help uncover and rewrite our negative core beliefs. Things like, I can either be financially successful or be an artist. For so long, I worked for safety, for money, but really I wanted slow living and creative freedom. She encourages us to use positive affirmations with intention. So I wrote 20 out and stuck them on my wall. And when negative thoughts pop up, like, no one will want to buy my art, I'm not good enough, get a real job, I write them down and I rewrite them into positive statements. There are 2 key tools in this book, which are the morning pages, where you write 3 pages of whatever's on your mind first thing in the morning. No rules, just clearing space. And artist dates, which is once a week you plan a solo outing to nurture your inner artist and inner child. Anything that brings you joy and allows you to be alone with yourself. It could be anything from going to charity stores and finding trinkets, or buying some new crayons and creating freely. Anything that just brings you that little spark. Here are the first week's tasks, which are quite fun to start with, light-hearted exercises to get you thinking about your past and what you actually like. For my artist date this week, I went to the river, I laid in the sun and watched the clouds pass by and looked up at the trees. This is what I do a lot though, so I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone to do things that are different. I painted a small piece of art and used the river to wash the paint off my brushes, which I found really therapeutic. And then when I came home, I made myself a nice meal and put on all my candles and watched a film. See, these are things that I do regularly. I spend most of my time alone in my bubble, so I'd like to push myself to maybe take like a yoga class or do things that are different to see where it could take me. I've done most of my morning pages, although sometimes I find it quite hard to write and nothing comes out, and I'm thinking, why isn't there anything meaningful and insightful? Because Julia talks about how the morning pages help you connect to the creator, and you'd be surprised what messages come through. But for me, some days it's just like word dump. The journey isn't going to be easy, sometimes painful, sometimes joyful, but I'm here for it. I hope sharing my experience helps others who feel blocked or lost in their creativity. Thank you for listening. If you're on a similar path, I'd love to hear from you. Please like, comment and subscribe to join me as I explore the artist's way and creative recovery.